As many of you were not tuned in, apparently. You may recall we read a posting from Craigslist on the air, along with a particularly well-written response. Now, what you may not be aware of is that, for those of you who did hear the show, this has now been big news. It's appeared in the New York Times, the CBS Early Show. Of course, that's like being in the witness protection program, but they did a story about it. It's been a big, big deal. Hundreds and hundreds, if not over 1,000 of you, sent me a copy of this posting days after we did the show. I'm still getting them. And even though I've come on the air and said, hey, guys, we did this as a show already, people are continuing to send it in. I mean, it's touched a nerve. Well, now a news story in the New York Times about this post from Craigslist. And it's a continuation of a trend I've been talking to you about. The New York Times, with its arrogant statement above the masthead on the front page of the newspaper, it says, all the news that's fit to print. And the New York Times found out, like so many American newspapers, that circulation is beginning to evaporate. Apparently, the New York Times wasn't very good at deciding what was fit to print. So they've gone to a more tried and true source, the Tom Leykis Show, to find news that's fit to print. You know, a going concern. So now instead of writing about the Pentagon Papers or Iraq or Afghanistan or Barack Obama or MoveOn.org, now they're writing about stuff that we would talk about on the Tom Leykis Show. And this from the New York Times. Last month on Craigslist.com, someone who described herself as, quote, a spectacularly beautiful 25-year-old placed a personal ad seeking a husband who made at least $500,000 a year because, quote, $250,000 won't get me to Central Park West. As her post hit the blogs, it received a scathing response from a man who said he fit her description and told her that her proposition was a bad business deal. In economic terms, he said, you are a depreciating asset and I am an earning asset because, quote, your looks will fade and my money will likely continue into perpetuity. By the way, he was right. Last week, this exchange spilled over into the email world, where the item turned into a popular one to send to friends as a joke. The difference between this and other outrageous share mail messages, however, was that instead of remaining anonymous, its ostensible author signed his name and the company where he worked, which happened to be the investment banking division of J.P. Morgan Chase. That's where I'm putting my money from now on. Tell you what, they really have an understanding of economics over there. This detail, which may have provoked nearly as much mirth as the contents of the exchange, made the correspondence either more or less credible. Would someone with a big job at a prestigious company really have linked his name to a message that read in part, you're 25 now and will likely stay pretty hot for the next 5 years, but less so each year. Then the fade begins in earnest. By 35, stick a fork in you. That is classic writing. Pithy beyond words. The man who is widely credited with writing the response did not respond to a voice message from the New York Times, But the media relations department at J.P. Morgan Chase confirmed that he worked there and said that he was not the author. Rather, a company spokesman said he had forwarded the email message to friends, and the signature setting on his email accompanied the response when it wound up on blogs. Good thinking there, Ace. That's good. And I was just about to move my money to J.P. Morgan. By this account, the employee was just an accidental sexist. New York Times calls him a sexist. The latest object lesson in the dangers of an email getting into the wrong hands. The Wall Street equivalent of a Pittsburgh Steelers coach who passed along an email message with a sex video to the National Football League commissioner, among others. Did a Pittsburgh Steelers coach do that? Must have been when I was out of the country. I heard about that. Why am I not on that distribution list? Will Schwalbe, author of Send, the essential guide to email for office and home, and he just has that name that sounds like Poindexter, doesn't it? Will Schwalbe? Call the ID department, get Will Schwalbe on the phone. Got a problem here with my Windows Vista. Get him down here. He said, your workplace computer, by the way, these are very carefully chosen words. He says, your workplace computer does not exist as a tool for forwarding jokey things. As for the legitimacy of the original posting by the husband seeker, a spokeswoman for Craigslist wrote in an email message that, quote, it does look as if the post was made sincerely. A message sent to the Craigslist mailbox seeking comment yielded no response. That woman is probably hiding under her bed crying. Craigslist declined to say how many people responded to the personal ad, which asked, among other things, for names of bars, restaurants, and gyms where rich, single men hung out. And so far, the identity of the responder remains a mystery, too. John Carney, editor of Deal Breaker, a Wall Street gossip site that posted the exchange on Wednesday, said, I wish we wrote it because I think it's great. Mr. Carney said that he had received the zinger in an email message from someone other than the author, and his source did not know who wrote it. The response never appeared on Craigslist itself. On Thursday, Howard Lindzen posted it to his blog. After a commenter asked who wrote it, Mr. Lindzen responded, me, but then said in a telephone interview that he had been kidding. The traffic the posting drew was serious, though. Mr. Lindzen usually gets about 3,000 daily visitors. But popularity rating sites Dig.com and Reddit.com linked to the item, drawing more than 100,000 visitors and crashing his server. Brett Michael Dykes, no, the guy from Poison did not send up a business in West Hollywood. Brett Michael Dykes, that's 3 names. A blogger notorious for fake listings on Craigslist said he had received about 40 email messages accusing him of posting the husband-seeking personal ad. But he said he had not written it, and he was stumped about its provenance. Look it up. I probably read it 5 or 6 times, and I go back and forth, Mr. Dykes said. Sadly, he said, I think it may be real. In New York City, I've met that type of girl. By now, Mr. Dykes said, a blogger would have taken credit for the listing if it were a hoax. But, quote, who would want to step from the shadows and say, I'm the gold digger? That's true. And Mr. Carney said he was not holding his breath that the Wall Street type would step forward. He said, in the age of ultra-sensitivity to sexual harassment, people might think that this guy's response about women being depreciating assets is not exactly how they want their firm to be perceived by the public. Well, man, that may very well be true. But you've got to admit, women are depreciating assets. I mean, finally, it's been said in a forum other than the Tom Leykis Show where probably millions of people have heard this now. Millions of people. I have said all along, men are like stocks going up, and women are like stocks going down. Okay? As time goes on, we become more valuable. Like if you bought a blue chip stock. You know, if you bought a stock like Procter & Gamble over the years, or McDonald's, or, you know, one of these big blue chippers. Over time, if you look at a graph, that stock just keeps going up and up. Little plateaus once in a while, but it continues upward. Meanwhile, with time, women are like your basic 1990s tech stock. Oh, yeah, one time they were just sizzling. And then at some point, they fall off a cliff and they stay there. Now, finally, somebody has said the same thing I'm saying. Is it any less true today? But a lot of people are still flooding us with copies of the posting. And not only that, we now see a story about it, of all places, the New York Times. And there's apparently this whole controversy about the response where the guy called the woman a depreciating asset. But isn't that true? Don't you want to get a woman when she's freshly baked out of the oven? You know what I'm saying? You know, when she turns 18, she's legal. That's when you want to get her. You want to get her when she's 18, 19, 20. You do not want to be getting her when she's, you know, the age of, well, put it this way, 35. Let's just say 35. I mean, if you have money, why would you want to spend that kind of money on somebody who's 35 and above? Why would you want to do it? You can afford better. If you can afford a place on Central Park West, that's a panty remover, baby. Are you kidding me? Why would you want to buy a depreciating asset? The guy was absolutely right. The New York Times called this guy a sexist. I don't think he's a sexist. He's honest. He has told the truth. Men may not get better looking as we get older, although some people say we do. But one thing is for sure, most men become more valuable as we get older. We make our peak income when we get into our 40s, 50s, and sometimes early 60s. We've got savings, we've got real estate, we've got other assets, we've got stocks, we've got bonds, we've got mutual funds, we've got experience. I'll tell you what, it's not living like living with that guy who hands out the free Quiznos coupons. I'll tell you that. It's not like living with the guy who dresses like a Subway sandwich and waves you into the parking lot. You know the guy I'm talking about. It's not like your boyfriend, the barista. He has to hope that some moron will tip him at Starbucks. I mean, men become more valuable as we get older, and women become less valuable. It's absolutely true. And there should be no controversy, and I can't believe the New York Times says that's sexist. There's nothing sexist about it. It's a fact. 1-800-5800-TOM, that's our telephone number. It's Christopher on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello.
Hey, I want to say, first of all, that you're a great broadcaster. You do a great job every day.
Thank you.
I had a question for you. I'm 29, and my girlfriend is 22, and I wanted to know what you thought about having a girlfriend at that age, because you say no serious relationship before 25.
I think you shouldn't have a girlfriend who's 22. You could certainly, in my view, have sex with someone who's 22, yes.
But, you know, I kind of wanted to have that someone, you know, that I could bring to Thanksgiving, or someone I can bring to Christmas where, you know, it's not just a booty call, it's not just someone I'm having sex with. Yeah,
but the problem with doing that is that then she's going to expect you to marry her.
Well, you know, she's at a point where she's not expecting marriage, or she's going to college now. She's not expecting that for years and years.
Well, but she hasn't gone with you to the parents' house yet. She hasn't been with you on those holidays yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that you're going to run into a problem. If you start bringing her home, she's going to start feeling an attachment to your family.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want that now.
But see, I don't mind as much as, since, I only plan to be with her for like another, 3-4 years till she hits the expiration date.
Does she know that?
Well, that hasn't been discussed.
All right. And what about the birth control situation?
She's on birth control.
You're sure?
I'm sure. She takes it every day.
Uh-huh.
And I know you say, but we've also had the discussion if she was to get pregnant, she would get an abortion. I
would use a condom anyway.
I know you would say that, Tom.
And I know you don't use one.
No, I don't.
That's not smart.
I know. And then, but I know in 3 or 4 years, I'm not going to be calling you up and like, Tom, I should have listened to you. I just want to get your opinion because you're the professor and you know the most about it.
I just don't believe in making them your girlfriend that young because I do believe that they are immature. Mm-hmm. And ultimately, by the way, I also believe that they will cheat on you because one day the high school sweetheart comes to town or the college boyfriend calls from a year or two ago. Mm-hmm. And women just go off and do those things. They don't wait for your approval.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
so I don't want you to be disappointed because I'm telling. Does she have a MySpace page?
Yes, she does.
Yeah, well, why would your girlfriend need a MySpace page?
This is one of the things that I disagree with you on the fact that people who are younger use MySpace as more of a social networking.
What does social networking mean? It means hooking up.
It does to an extent, but, sometimes, it's just so that you can stay in contact. Yeah, I know.
But what about a telephone? This is stupid. It is to sell yourself to people who haven't met you before.
But she has a profile that's private, and so do I.
So why does she need the page?
Well, a lot of her friends are on this. A lot of my friends are on this. I'm not willing to give up my MySpace.
Because you want to hook up.
Maybe in years down the line, so I still have those contacts. It's the same as keeping a phone number.
Just don't be surprised if what happens to people will happen to you.
Okay. No, that makes sense. Well, I thank you very much, Tom, and can you take me out Michael Vick style?
Michael Vick style? Well, of course. No one's asked for Michael Vick style. There we go. That was Michael Vick applying the cattle prod, by the way. 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Let's say hello here to Jay on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. How are you?
Great.
So here's my question. I've been married 5 years. Was happily married for 3 of them. I had a child 2 years ago, and life's changed ever since. Both working full-time. Wondering what you think I should do. We're just not happy in our marriage right now.
Well, I warned you about doing that.
You did.
But you went ahead and got married anyway.
I did. We've known each other for a long time. Everything was great until we had our daughter. Do you think that the dual working household works?
Generally, from what I've seen, it doesn't work for kids or parents.
And so, do you think I cut bait? Do you think I stick it out a little longer?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Is your wife refusing to give it up? Is that what a big part of the problem is?
That is part of the problem, yes.
And when you tell her you need sex, what does she tell you?
It has to be the right situation, the right time, the romance, all the, everything that...
Oh, when they ask for romance, it's like demanding a massage, okay? They're just trying to put you off.
Exactly. So, I mean...
I'll have sex with you, but first I want flowers. I want you to come out with rose petals. I want you to light the fire.
Oh, stop it. What is this? This like Survivor? I have to do all these chores, all these tasks? Until
That's exactly right.
Oh, come on.
So you think I just lay it out? This is what I need. This is how I need it to be?
Yes. Yes, by the way, many women are just testing you anyway.
Yeah. Well,
by the way, did you have to do all those things? Did you have to jump through all those hoops when she met you?
No, it was a lot different then. I mean, everything was fine. Honestly, the day we had our child is the day that things changed. Right.
So when she says, you're going to have to give me romance, she doesn't want to have sex with you. That's what she's telling you.
So not a good situation for me then, is what you're saying.
No. She used to want to have sex with you. Now she got what she really wants, which is your sperm.
Yeah, I mean, and she wants me to. I consider myself a good father. I put a lot of time in. I work full time. I make a decent living, or more than a decent living.
And how often do you have to get up and take care of the baby at 3 a.m.?
Well, that was a big deal because we would fight over that a lot. We both worked full time. We'd take turns, but you know, when you get waking up in the middle of the night, you're just not in a good mood, and you say things that you don't necessarily mean. You're just on the seat. You're just on edge.
I have always said that the traditional roles work best.
Yeah.
And I say this as somebody who tried to do it the opposite way. Well, I mean, at one time in my life, I really thought I was a feminist. And at one time in my life, I tried to do half of everything. And I tried to be, a good person. And if she didn't want to have sex for 3 weeks, I would tolerate it. And I'm like, what am I doing?
Well, I appreciate the advice. I didn't think you were, I listened to you for a number of years, so I figured you'd be telling me stuff that I've heard you say time and time again, but it helps to at least touch base with you and hear it directly from you.
Well, thank you, Jay. I appreciate that.
You take me out with a bong hit?
Here you go. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Lucy on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Tom, hi.
Hi.
I'm calling because I don't agree with your comment about how women lose their value after a certain age.
The guy who responded to the Craigslist posting said women are a depreciating asset, and I agree with him.
Well, I know when I tell you my age, you're going to croak over. You're going to think I'm old hag. I'm 46, but I'm hot.
What do you mean by hot?
Well, I'm Cuban. I have beautiful skin. I have a 36C. I'm 5'4". Okay, I'm a little short.
Yeah, and you're Cuban and 46. May I ask, I was married to a Cuban and I lived in Miami. Do you have a 36C butt also?
I have a small butt.
You have a small butt?
I don't have a big ass like the real Cubans.
How much are you? You're not a real, you're like, hey, what, half Cuban or something? You can't. You can't be Cuban and not look like the Michelin Man at 46. You can't.
I don't know why, but no, I was actually born in Cuba. But you were married to a Cuban, then you know that we're hot.
Well, dear, I know that you're hot when you're young. But I also know that when you're 35, you start looking like your mother.
Oh, well, my mother was beautiful. She was 105.
How much do you weigh?
120.
How tall are you?
5'4".
It's up there.
And believe me, my boobs are natural and they do not sag, okay?
Well, hopefully they weigh about 30 pounds. At that height.
You are incorrigible.
I am. Yes, I am.
Anyways, I just wanted to say that because I think it's funny. I listen to you most of the time, and I think you're hilarious.
Well, thank you, Lucy.
And you do have a point in a lot of ways. But, like all the women call, but I'm not that way.
It's the 46-year-old Cuban with a small butt, everybody. She's calling in right now.
Oh, no.
She's the one right here.
I'm going to email you a picture of me. You're not going to believe it. I have 26-year-old guys trying to pick up on me all the time.
Yeah, but they're always trying to pick up on cougars and MILFs and stuff, because it's, easy pickings.
Oh, God. I have desperate written on my face, okay? I work out every day.
Only written on your butt?
Range of men. And by the way, you know what? I dated a guy in his 50s, and he has absolutely silcho. He was making $150,000 a year, but his ex-wife and his 2 kids took it all. So all of you guys are not a precious commodity.
Oh, I agree with you. I by the way, I wouldn't want a guy with that kind of baggage. I wouldn't want him either.
Well, see, I wasn't after his money, Tom. Not all of us are gold diggers, I saw you at the Orange County Auto Show, okay?
Oh.
You look hungover.
Hungover?
You did. You're like wearing dark shades. And
I do that all the time, dear. You've never seen me in public. I'm wearing dark shades now.
Oh, okay. See, that's the first time I've ever seen you. I actually went to see you.
Oh.
But it was funny because there was too much testosterone around. All those guys with the gals. The girls were beautiful. But anyways, it was funny. But, yeah. Anyways, I just want to let you know. And Keep up the good work. I do love you.
Why? Thank you, Lucy. Lucy, the 46-year-old Cuban with a small butt. She's the one. There's not a lot of those out there. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. It's John on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom.
Hey.
So, I really don't have much of a comment except for that the Times is calling this guy a sexist.
Yes.
Well, what's to say that the lady's not a sexist for what she thinks is due just because she's a hot woman? I mean, come on.
Well, that's true. I mean, isn't it sexist to expect that a man is going to buy you everything and take you to Central Park West?
It's crazy that they just calling one person the kettle black when they really both are. If they're going to call anybody sexist,
I think they were fighting fire with fire in that exchange.
So thanks a lot, Tom. You do great service for everybody, and take me out any style you want.
Well, I'll take you out old school.
Hello, Tom. How you doing?
Great.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment on, the topic, women are depreciating value. I'm a business owner, and absolutely. I mean, the only point a woman has in the workforce is to make a guy's, life work easier.
Well, I agree with that. I mean, I certainly, there are certainly aggressive women who want to bust their ass and work their way to the top, and I think that's fantastic. And they make great booty calls, but you wouldn't want to live with them or anything.
Exactly. No, I mean, I'm a bar owner, bikini bar owner over in Orange County. And, after so long of being there, you have to fire them because, the customers get stale of them. So you got to bring a new face in.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, great talking to you, Tom. Thanks a lot.
I'm sure it was. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. This is Chris on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. How you doing today?
Doing great.
You are a god, my friend. I swear, I was a Leykis 101 student even before I even started listening to you.
I love that.
Yeah, I went through all that stupid dating stuff in college, and I was on the same mind frame as you were before I even started listening to you, is that women are just, relationships, they're too much work. You need to be concentrating on your life, on business. And now, since I've been following Leykis 101, things are great. I have a great job. I'm concentrating on that, moving up in the world. And I really wanted to comment on this story. I mean, the Times is just pissed because this guy called this woman out. I mean,
and he told the truth. Women are depreciating assets.
Yes. I mean, everyone says, oh, I'm a 46-year-old woman and I'm hot, like that Cuban woman who was on later. Yeah, but in 10 years you'll be a 56-year-old woman, and very, very, very few men go, ooh, a 56-year-old hot girl. I
right.
That, Grandma.
And by the way, if you've got money, why would you want to look at that naked?
Exactly. Fact of nature. Boobs, fag.
Yes.
I'm allowed to say that, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, and any woman who tries to convince herself otherwise it's just hopeless romanticism is what it is.
It is a very rare breast that does not end up pointing south at some point in time.
Yeah, and those that don't, you have to pay a couple grand to get them to not.
Or, no,
south.
there's one other way. If they've got that natural underwire, which is what I call rolls of fat that hold them up.
That'll do it, too.
Absolutely.
Well, it was great talking to you, Tom. Absolutely love the show. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep this world moving.
I'm working on that.
Take me out tribal style?
African tribal style. Here you go, Chris. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Stephen on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Stephen.
First time, long time. I had to call in and tell you this story about something that happened to me the other night.
Yes.
I had this girl over my house a little bit after 9 o'clock, had some drinks in me, She comes over, we're hooking up, we're doing our thing. I get her shirt off, I get her bra off, everything's going good. And then she tells me I'm celibate.
Ha!
Can you believe that? Who uses that term nowadays, Tom? Who uses that term?
People who are religious.
Oh, this is not a religious girl. This is a daddy's princess.
So, what, is she saying she's celibate or she's not giving it away?
Well, I know for a fact that she's not a virgin. That much I can guarantee. But she was just, I guess, telling me at the time she's just not having sex. But that gets me to wondering, what are you doing at my house at 10 p.m. drinking beer with me in my room?
Right. So did you kick her out?
I did. I told her, I said, I'm off to bed. I am off to bed. And it is definitely going to be the last time I have that over at my house.
And how did she react to that?
Yeah, she seemed a little bit bitter. She actually, she ended up, when she texted me the next day, she tried to do that whole, like friendly text. I'm still kind of interested. I just blew her off. I erased her number from my cell phone.
It is time for men to stand up and boycott any woman who says that she doesn't have sex. I don't usually do this. I'm not putting up. What are we talking to you for?
Exactly, Thomas. It's exactly what I'm saying. I said, what are you doing at my house late at night?
Did she tell you what she was doing there?
Well, I didn't come right out and say that, but I was kind of insinuating, like, what are you doing here then? But it was after I found out that it wasn't going to happen, I mean, I pretty much just shut down, too. She killed the whole thing. She killed it all.
Wow.
Unbelievable, huh, Tom?
Well, believable, because I've heard of it before. Wow. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. John on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, John. How are you doing?
No, you're John. I'm not John.
Sure. I was just calling in because I heard you talking earlier about kind of like young guys who don't really have that much going for them, like, and trying to get girls, and like versus old guys who have a lot of money. But I guess the thing about me is I'm a younger guy. I have a lot of money, and I live in the Hollywood Hills area. Go out to clubs and bars, like, girls of all ages, like, pretty much throw themselves at me all the time. And I take it, like, I get with a lot of girls. But, like, what's really a good age for a guy like me to get into a relationship?
Well, put it this way. Do you ever need to be in a relationship?
I was going to ask you, like, is there really any point to it?
Well, that's my point to you. I mean, you have to tell me you need it. And if you can't say that, then there is no requirement. You know, the days of Ozzie and Harriet are over. The days when you automatically had to, go steady with a girl and then get engaged and then get married. Those days are done. You don't have to do that anymore.
You say just keep playing around, have fun.
Have fun as long as you want. Life is short.
All right, I love your advice. Thank you, Tom.
Baby, I live in the Hollywood Hills, too, and I've got money, too.
Yeah.
I'm probably your neighbor.
Probably.
And I'm telling you, I'm loving it. I do not need anybody living in my house.
That's great.
Because under California law, it's very hard to get them. It's like your house becomes like the Roach Motel. Roaches check in, but they don't check out.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely makes it a lot easier when you bring a girl back in that area.
Well, of course. But the trick is you don't want them staying at your place. You don't want them leaving stuff behind. You don't want them hanging clothes or pantyhose in your shower. You don't want them leaving toothbrushes or jewelry, little piece of jewelry, like that little post that goes behind the pierced earring or whatever. You want that stuff out, out, out.
What do you do? I feel like when girls start leaving like all this like different stuff at your house, or
when they ask me later where their things went, I say I don't know. Maid must have thrown it out. I don't know.
Okay, so
I don't keep stuff around. No.
Gotcha. Or say if she does leave something, just say, "Oh, you forgot this. Come pick it up." Or like.
No, because that's why she left it there.
Okay.
So she can go back. Don't give her what she wants.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
They do that on purpose. They're manipulating you.
Yeah. It's a good point.
So you turn the tables on them. I don't know where your earrings went. I didn't see any earrings. Maybe you left them at someone else's house.
Got it.
I actually said that to a woman, and she just went into she just went ballistic. What are you saying? I'm a slut. I left them in somebody else's. Yeah, well, you know.
It's a funny story.
It's not like you made me wait. You probably left them somewhere else.
That's funny.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Appreciate the call. There goes John. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Here comes Matt on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom, how's it going?
Great.
I just need to break up with my girlfriend on the phone and get her over. She's a gold digger, straight up.
Uh-huh.
Can I do that right now?
Of course.
All right, can I give you the number so we can do it on the air? Or what?
You want to do it on the air?
It'd be easiest way, you know, might as well.
All right, well, we're at the end of the hour, so we'll take the phone number, and then we'll see if we can reach her. Dean's going to do the reconnaissance right now. Rebecca on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. How are you?
Great.
Good. I have a question / I need your opinion and help.
A question / I need your opinion and help.
I've been listening to you for about a year now, and I have recently just got my first boyfriend, and we've been together for almost a year. He actually got me into you, and I am still a virgin.
So he's broken at least 2 of my rules right there.
Yes, boyfriend and virgin. Don't have him. Don't have a boyfriend. My question is, I probably sound like the most naive and idiotic person ever. Is he getting it from someone else?
Probably yes.